You're watching the station that's working for you. Now, WMAR2 News at 5.
Good evening and welcome into WMAR2 News at 5 with Jamie Costello. I'm Kelly Swoop. What a rough weekend. We had 4 people killed, 12 others shot in Baltimore, including a 2-year-old boy.
Here he is. Little boy's getting better. Look at that. No off button. 2 years old.
2 years. It's sitting in a car.
Sitting in the car. Police believe that they have the man responsible for shooting this little guy here. And we're going to go right now downtown to right outside the police headquarters. Abby Isaacs, who has been working this story all weekend, with what police say today. Abby?
As of 1 o'clock this afternoon, Baltimore has seen 272 murders compared to 243 at the same time last year. That is a 12% increase nearly in murders. There's been a 22% increase in non-fatal shootings. There have been 634 so far this year compared to 519 non-fatal shootings at this time last year. Well, one current Ravens player and 2 former players are going to host a town hall meeting this evening about policing in Baltimore City. Running back Mark Ingram, former wide receiver and Super Bowl champion Anquan Boldin, and former running back Matt Lawrence will all be there. They're going to meet with city and state officials and activists to talk about creating a safer community by improving community police relations. The meeting will be tonight at 6 o'clock at the Reginald F. Lewis Museum downtown.
A police officer is shot and killed, and right now investigators are trying to find the person responsible. Montgomery County Police Officer Thomas Bamba was found shot in a parking garage here in downtown Silver Spring this morning. He told dispatch he was with someone disorderly just before 9 o'clock this morning. When another officer arrived to help, they found Bamba shot at the top level of the garage. Bamba died at the hospital. The 38-year-old was a 13-year veteran. He was wearing a body camera. No word yet if it was activated when he was shot. Police do not have any evidence or leads on any suspects, but they are investigating this as a homicide. So anyone with information about what happened in Silver Spring this morning, call police.
Well, Baltimore police and campus security are investigating a possible sexual assault at Johns Hopkins University. It allegedly happened Friday night at the Delta Phi fraternity house at 200 East University Parkway. A security alert email was sent out to students and staff. Anyone with information should call campus security.
All right, right now, Anne Arundel County Police need your help. They're trying to identify a pair of suspected thieves. Police say on Saturday the men tried to use stolen credit cards from a car at the Walmart on Ritchie Highway in Pasadena. They're also urging everybody to lock their cars up and not leave anything inside.
We're asking people to take that extra second, make sure you remove any of your valuables from your car, and go ahead and lock your doors. It's an easy mistake to make, especially if you're busy carrying stuff in, getting kids in and out of the car, but it can also be a very expensive mistake to make if somebody steals your identity.
And the pair left in this truck. It's an older model dark blue Ford Explorer, so if you know who the men are, call police.
Well, we got a missing person here tonight in Baltimore. Police need your help finding a vulnerable man. He's 52 years old. Here's the picture. This is Michael Randall. He was last seen on Thursday on the 4800 block of Liberty Heights Avenue. He was wearing a navy blue sweatshirt and black pants. If you know where Michael Randall is or you think you may have seen him, please give police a call.
There's another public hearing on Howard County's controversial school redistricting plan tonight. Large turnout at previous meetings forced the Board of Ed to schedule several overflow meetings. And tonight's meeting is one of those, and there's another one tomorrow night. And if the current plan is approved, the proposal would move more than 7,000 students in Howard County to a different school next year. The school board is expected to vote on the plan in just over a month, November the 21st. The meetings tonight and tomorrow will start at 6 o'clock right there at the Board of Education building in Ellicott City.
And also tonight, there's a public meeting to discuss the future of the Laurel Park Racetrack. It's scheduled for 6:30 at the track. Last week, the Stronach Group pitched a multi-million-dollar plan to build a new facility in Laurel. It's also agreed to donate Pimlico Racecourse to the city of Baltimore, allowing for a major renovation project there. This plan to keep the Preakness and downtown and in Baltimore rather and move forward with renovations at both Pimlico and Laurel still need to be approved by state lawmakers. That deal is expected to be discussed during the next legislative session coming up in January.
And here we go again. You are stuck in traffic as you near the Bay Bridge. We've got a 7-mile backup on a Monday afternoon. This started earlier this afternoon, and it's because of the redecking, and it's just those of you in Kent Island And on the other side of the Bay Bridge,
maybe they're going to the beach.
You know what? I would turn around and do that. Yeah, it was nice enough today.
I know, it's nice enough. Wow. It felt like we were in San Francisco.
Well, today's Columbus Day, but at least 8 states, 10 universities, and more than 130 cities are now observing Indigenous Peoples Day as an alternative to the federally recognized holiday. Johns Hopkins University decided to do something a little different, colorful. The university honored the rich heritage of indigenous communities with singing, drummers, dancing, and tasting of tribal cuisine.
For so long, there's been an erasure of Native American history throughout the entire country. We've grown up with this narrative that Christopher Columbus was the discoverer of the New World, but we're really here to say that that's not the case, that we have been here long before it was ever discovered. And being here, it's an acknowledgement that Native culture and history is still alive and well today.
The event was a collaboration between the Indigenous students at Hopkins and the university's Office of Multicultural Affairs. Washington, D.C. also celebrated Indigenous Peoples Day for the very first time this year. Well, Congress is officially back in session, but several committees have been working through their recess, hearing from several key witnesses as part of the House's impeachment inquiry.
And today, the president's former top Russian advisor testified behind closed doors. Fiona Hill left the administration just before President Trump's July phone call with Ukrainian President Zelensky. And lawmakers want to know what she knew about the White House policy in Ukraine and the president's desire to have them investigate Joe Biden and his son. Republicans again arguing the process is unfair. One representative who doesn't sit on any of the 3 committees tried to interrupt the proceedings today.
Congress, you're not a member of these committees, so why did you think you could participate?
Well, because there are no rules. So in the absence of any rules that House Democrats have adopted, I found it only reasonable to look at prior precedent on impeachment.
On Thursday, the president's current ambassador to the EU, who participated in critical text message exchanges about the Ukraine, is expected to testify as well. Well, it's a big step, purchasing a home.
Yeah, but when is the best time to do so financially? We're breaking that down for you a little later.
And golfing for a great cause. How golfers were given back to the community today.
Well, some Samsung Galaxy users can now upgrade to the Android 10 operating system. The company is rolling out a beta version of Google's latest mobile operating software, but only for people with the S10 smartphones. Upgrades include smaller notification windows, an improved dark mode, screen time management tool, and a focus mode, which disables app alerts when you want to concentrate on something else. The beta version is available through the Samsung Members app.
All right, Lyft will join Uber in suing New York City. Both ride-sharing companies are attacking new rules in New York that limit the amount of time that drivers can cruise without passengers. City officials say up to a third of peak time traffic in the city is ride-sharing vehicles. All right, now, is it the right time to refinance a home?
Joe Ducey, I talked to a mortgage and real estate expert just to answer that question.
And now from WMAR 2 News, Maryland's most accurate forecast.
A quick check of the calendar shows that Halloween right around the corner. Do you have your costume yet?
I know that I'm looking forward to that. What about you?
Mosquitoes or frost? Yeah.
Winter's coming.
I know, you're counting down the days.
All right, well, people hit the greens here this morning for a great cause. The Building for God Community Foundation hosted its 12th annual Community Cup golf event here at the Maryland Country Club. It's one of 2 primary fundraisers benefiting the foundation, and the organization helps those in need. And today, between 150 and 200 people played to raise money for community-based organizations in Baltimore City and County.
The tournament raises between $60,000 and $70,000 that goes right into the endowment that we help support the Champions in Life and our partners for the foundation.
Oh, that's great. And the other fundraiser is the Champion in Life celebration, and what a celebration it is. It's the annual gala, and that'll be coming up in February for you.
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and for the 3rd year, WMAR 2 News is partnered with the House of Ruth Maryland for the Fill the House campaign. We are collecting diapers, formula, comforters, pillows, blankets, and new underwear for women and children. You can also bring donations to various Wise Markets, Manor Care, and People's Banks locations. And for more information, check us out at WMAR2news.com/fill-the-house. And then join us on Wednesday. We're going to fill up a truck at the Wise Market at the Towson Place with all your donations. I'll be there in the afternoon. Jamie will be there in the evening, and Christian Schaefer earlier in the day, and Lynette.
All right, our four-legged friends add to our lives in more ways than one. Coming up, how owning a dog can extend your life. Well, researchers at the University of Pennsylvania found that opioid pain medications are being overprescribed for short-term pain after low-risk procedures. They looked at procedures like routine appendix, gallbladder, and breast lump removal, as well as knee repairs. And these are associated with short-term pain and may not require opioid medicines at all. Overprescribing seems to be worse here in the United States and Canada than in any other country. The U.S. also prescribes the highest doses of opioids.
Well, fall is here. It's finally starting to cool down, but that doesn't mean that you should stop protecting your skin from the sun. Experts say one of the biggest mistakes people make is skipping sunscreen in the fall and winter months. While UVB rays are weaker, UVA rays are as strong in January as they are in July. Too much sun exposure can lead to skin cancer, so it's important to protect yourself with sunscreen every single day. And cover up when you can. Don't forget the areas like your lips, your ears, your neck, and your hands. Not every dog can be a lifesaver like Lassie. Remember Lassie? According to new research, owning a dog can, though, reduce your chances of dying early.
I believe it. Here's Meredith Wood, and she gives us more insight tonight on what these little doggies bring to us.
You're watching the station that's working for you. Now, WMAR2 News at 5.
I'm Don Harrison here on Kent Island, where high tides and a full moon severely impacted businesses, travel, and an outdoor wedding this weekend. I'll tell you how all that turned out. Coming up here on WMAR2 News.
And new developments tonight in the death of an unarmed black woman inside a family member's home. The latest on the officer who shot her, who's no longer wearing a badge tonight. Good evening and welcome into WMAR2 News at 6:05 with Jamie Costello. I'm Kelly Swoop. We're going to get to those stories in just a moment, but first let's take a look at the weather for this week, huh?
I know, let's keep bragging. Meteorologist Eric Taylor, we're going to have these days far and few between from here on out.
Yeah.
WMAR2 News is working for you. You can stay on top of the weather wherever you are. Download our WMAR2 News app. You can watch live radar and see the forecast, and to get it, search WMAR in the App Store. All right, high tides, floods, full moon that surprised many of this weekend.
That's right. The Annapolis Boat Show was impacted, and there was coastal flooding nearby, everywhere all along the bay. WMAR2 News' Don Harrison tells us how the weekend went for his daughter's outdoor wedding. Dead and 2 others are hurt in a crash on the Baltimore-Washington Parkway. It happened just before 2:40 this morning near northbound Route 295 and Route 32. And an SUV hit a car from behind and caused it to overturn. The driver of the car, a 19-year-old woman, died at the scene. The passenger in the car and the driver of the SUV were taken to shock trauma with critical injuries.
A woman is robbed while trying to buy a phone from someone online. It happened yesterday just after 12:30. On Cloud Street in Laurel. Police say 2 teenage boys gave the woman a box filled with aluminum foil and no phone. And when she confronted them, one was holding a knife and demanded her money.
You can meet at any police station, come inside and do any type of transactions there. It's a safe place. It's a well-documented place. It's a well-publicized place. And we can keep you safe in those kind of instances.
And Anne Arundel County Police want to remind you that all police stations' lobbies are transaction safe zones and can be used to conduct internet transactions. If you know anything about this robbery in Laurel, call police.
Well, tonight, Baltimore County Councilman David Marks is going to hold a town hall meeting to discuss the future of the Loch Raven Business District. It'll be held at Loch Raven High School beginning at 6:30 tonight. Well, here at WMAR2 News, we are making a commitment to you. We are now the voice for veterans in our state of Maryland.
And tonight, we have a story about a man who was jumping out of airplanes over Afghanistan, and now he's lumping bananas in with berries. Jonas Vasquez right here grew up in Annapolis, but wanted to go away, so he left the Naval Academy behind for the Army. And after 8 years, he is back in his hometown making smoothies as his new place is open. It's called Taro.
Smoothies got turned into a science to basically what your body needed.
Well, he said he wasn't afraid of war, but he was trained to be a master sniper. Well, now he's the master of the blender. His complete story tonight at 11. Of course, WMAR 2 News is committed to making life better for veterans here in our state. We want to share their stories, their triumphs, and help through troubled times. So email us your story ideas at WMAR.com.
All right, California students can hit the snooze button. The state is pushing back school start times. Governor Gavin Newsom signed a new law Sunday that prevents middle schools from starting before 8 a.m. and high schools before 8:30. California is the first state in the country to do this. One goal is to give students more sleep time and improve education. Critics say it could push extracurricular activities further into the evening and have a disproportionately negative impact on working families. The law will go into effect in 2022. Well, it has been 1 week since President Trump ordered U.S. forces out of northern Syria, and the region has since plunged into chaos. A senior U.S. official tells ABC mass atrocities are being committed against the Kurdish people at the hands of Kurdish-backed militias, including some ex-Al-Qaeda fighters, leaving a trail of displacement, destruction, and death. United Nations estimates it's 130,000 people have been displaced by fighting, hundreds.
And this has been reported at the hands of the militias who have been sponsored by Turkey. Listen.
This is a complicated situation. A NATO ally, Turkey is a full member of NATO and an ally of ours, who is now fighting over border issues with the Kurds who have helped us with ISIS. It's a complicated situation, and we're monitoring it, as I said, very carefully.
Well, the mass bloodshed 1 week after the president ordered U.S. troops pulled from the area, and now an even bigger retreat, ordering all remaining U.S. forces to leave northern Syria. Some U.S. troops say the move is effectively abandoning America's allies on the battlefield in a fight against ISIS. And now there are concerns over the resurgence of ISIS, as those that were captured are reportedly escaping now.
Well, now to the latest on the Fort Worth deadly police shooting. A white police officer shot and killed a black woman in her family's home through a window.
Romina Puga has more on the officer's resignation tonight and the criminal investigation that lies ahead. David Muir will have much more on this story tonight on World News coming up at 6:30. Another W in the win column.
That's right. Now the Ravens are preparing for the Seahawks this weekend, plus another former Raven retires.
And tracking your child through their cell phone, should you do it? Yeah.
I just started doing
that. Yeah, darn right we should. Oh, we have to have the pros and cons, though, of the new tracking app.
You're watching WMAR 2 News with Jamie Costello and Kelly Swoop.
All right, this weekend it was all about the ladies. 3 female athletes not only broke records in their sports, but they killed them. Simone Biles won 2 more gold medals at the Gymnastics World Championship. That makes her the most decorated gymnast, man or woman of all time. And then runner Bridget Kosgei won the Chicago Marathon, and the process shattered the world record by 81 seconds. She finished in 2 hours and 14 minutes and 4 seconds. And tennis phenom Coco Gauff became the youngest player to win a WTA tournament since 2016, and she's only 15 years old.
That is incredible. Mallory finished second in
I was going to say, Mallory was right behind her.
Right there. All right, an Oklahoma teenager who was once paralyzed is running again. Khalib Freeman, a high school track star, was set to receive college scholarships, but 2 years ago, a car crash left him with a critical brain injury. He was in a coma for weeks, but he slowly made progress. And then last week, Freeman ran a 5K with his teammates, circling back to cross the finish line again with him.
They say I would never run again, but God had other plans.
That's right. Freeman completed the 5K race in 51 minutes and 50 seconds. His dad said, quote, "This time last year, he was in a wheelchair. He was using a walker. And now here we are, a year later. Imagine where he'll be in another year." It is incredible.
That is an amazing story.
All right, out of Owings Mills today, it was time to recap the latest Ravens win and putting a cap on one of my favorite Ravens of all time.
WMAR 2 News' Sean Stepner explains from the Under Armour Performance Center tonight.
Now from WMAR 2 News, Maryland's most accurate forecast.
What are we supposed to do again? What is it?
So you take two fingers, kind of, and then outstretch your hand a little bit. And it's it. You'll figure it out. You'll see them there.
We'll put something on YouTube for you.
All right. Hey, an artist's doodles on the walls of a New York City bar could be worth a fortune.
Oh, my goodness.
Japanese artist Yoshi Tomonara made them about 10 years ago with a felt-tip pen at a Manhattan bar, Niagara, and they're getting fresh attention after one of Nara's paintings sold for nearly $25 million. Yeah, at Sotheby's auction house. Representatives say that this could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, but Nara's rep says the artist does not want to see the drawing sold. Tracking your children is now as easy as using your phone, but it begs the question, even though the technology is available, should you use it?
Alex Hoxie examines the pros and the cons of this debate. All right, I got it.
Well, good.
And she doesn't mind.
That's good. Keep the lines of communication open.
Kidding. All right, we got more news and weather coming your way.
All right, I'm watching her too. WMAR 2 News at 6 is next. Nobody's getting away.